penalties are an issue kind of team-wide. Could you just talk to us from a player's perspective? Do you see it as more of like a pattern? Are they individual mistakes? How do you address that? How do you fix that kind of rapidly but in October?
Yeah, that's a quick fix, if anything. It's just more relying on your training, going back to practice, remembering to watch the ball, remembering to know the situation. You got to be situational masters. That's what we talk about a lot. With football, you have to be your IQ has to be high, not just on the field, but you got to be aware of everything going on around you. So you got to know what down it is. Got to know what they need to get a first down. Know what they're going to try to get a first down. Usually that's a clap or a bark cadence, just to try to get you to jump to draw easy 5 yards. So with our guys, they're quick off the ball, and they get a jump on you. It's bad for the offense. So they try to use that speed against them. Then sometimes offense is like Saturday, they'll use that against us, use our speed against us by trying to get us to jump. But it's easy. It's easy. We rely back on our training and truly work on watching the ball, going back to your IQ like that.
Just kind of big picture through 5 games, what's been your overall assessment of this defense, and what's the next step for you guys to keep improving?
The next step is to remain humble, continue to be who we are, continue to have 11 hats for the ball. Joe D says it a lot, and that has to be our motto week in, week out. No matter who we're playing, you got to have 11 hats for the ball. You got to have population, because one guy might not get the runner down, and then he can hit his head on the goalpost, or you can fight to give him 3 points, or they can go for him on 4th down and you can get off the field. So it always has to be 11 hats for the ball.
You were saying there's offenses that can use your speed against you. Mm-hmm. Is that just you guys not having the eye discipline of looking at the ball and just wanting to get a jump so quick that you're just relying on, the claps or something like that? Is that what you're talking about?
There is that, but then there's also, trying to think about what move you're going to use before the snap occurs. So guys will have moves that they work on throughout the week. Okay, when it's 3rd down, I'll use this move. When it's 4th down, I'll definitely watch the ball and then use this move. So it just goes back to training, knowing that, yes, you can use that move, but you got to see the ball move first.
Hey, Demetrius, Alabama's coming off a loss, but obviously they're pretty talented on the offensive side of the ball. When you're watching the film and breaking it down, what stands out about them?
Yeah, what stands out about them is that they are an explosive offense. Of course, you have Jalen Milroe. You have the freshman, the 17-year-old that everybody's talking about in the country. You've got number 5, who's also a go-to guy. You got 2 good running backs, 22, 26. They're good across the board. Of course, the O-line is great as well. Really, you can't put that noise in front of you. You just got to put it behind you. Yeah, they lost. We lost. 2 teams itching to get back on the field. That's what it is. It's going to come down to really discipline on both sides. Who wants it more? Who has an edge coming into this game? So they're talented, but at the same time, we're talented as well.
Hey, Demetrius, what are the challenges that come with facing a quarterback like Milroe that can move around in the pocket? And do you see any similarities to the way you guys go up against Lenoris in practice with his ability to move?
Absolutely. We have been going against Lenoris since the spring. It's hard to game plan for guys like Lenoris because, like the fact you said, his legs can hurt you. Of course, his arm can hurt you as well. Jalen Milroe is the same type of guy. Got a great frame, has a great arm, and can hurt you in the run game. So there are plays that they have designed especially for him to utilize his speed on the edge. We have things for Lenoris as well, but what makes him dangerous is he's the guy that will keep his eyes on the field. He's developed in his game this year. Of course, with the new staff that is coming from Washington, they want those big plays. They want those chunk plays. After they get a big play, they're going to run it fast just to get you off guard. So we're definitely prepared. We just have to, again, I know it sounds like beating the dead horse, but you gotta rely on your training. When you're tired, when you're confused, you want to get out the field. It's a long drive. Your training will come through more times than not.
2 quick one first. I've seen you a couple different Gamecock walks dancing, like right before you walk in. Is that just appreciation of the marching band, or do you like to actually use that to get pumped up?
Usually when I wake up in the morning, I'm already pumped up. I just want to appreciate the band, let them know week in, week out, whatever the turnout is after the game, that I appreciate them. We don't usually get a chance to see those guys. And so I want to let them know that we're not just walking by straight faced with our headphones or anything. I appreciate everything they do, even when they're in the stands. When we come down, we don't see them at halftime. Still appreciate everything they do for us.
Awesome. And then going back to some of the stuff that we were just talking about, it seems like in these big SEC games, there's just kind of self-inflicted errors. You've mentioned the word discipline a lot. Yeah. You've played a lot of football. How do you kind of preach discipline to your teammates, to yourself?
For myself, I have a high standard of discipline where if I lack in one area, it starts to show up. So I do not allow myself to take shortcuts. Shortcuts is what gets you hurt. Details is what gets you hurt. The locker room's dirty, and we go out there and jump off sides a couple of times. It's going to come back to those details. If the locker room was clean, we're going to play a clean game. I go by a motto in my life that my wife didn't understand, but everything matters. Let's see, how you do anything is how you do everything, and all that, whether that's on the field or off the field. If you're a jerk off the field, you're going to be a jerk on the field as well, and you're going to get 15-yard penalties up and down the field, and you're going to get pulled. Not a great look. If you're a nice guy on the field, helping guys up after tackles, being a leader on the sideline, it'll show in the locker room, it'll spread more, bring life and hope to your locker room to, let me pick that trash up instead of somebody else will get it. So that's what I kind of hold myself to, and then the guys pick that up as well.
Word's gotten out that Bengali's stepping away from the team. What does that mean for you guys as a linebacker group, and what can you kind of share about what that will do for the team as well, I guess?
I have no answers for you there. That's probably a question for Coach Beamer. I'm just not hearing about this myself, so that's probably something that he'll know more about.
Demetrius, you said you just said a little while ago, if you're a jerk on the field, it can lead to undisciplined stuff. How do you as an older player kind of talk to the younger guys and say, listen, this is your enthusiasm, but channel it in the right way?
Yeah, you have to know when to turn things on and when to turn things off. It's a fine line, as we saw with LSU. Things when you play high talented SEC teams like that, it's very, very thin line. Small margin of error. That's what I was preaching at halftime of the Ole Miss game. It's a small margin for error in these games. For guys like that, for younger guys, I tell them all the time. Fred, who's in our room, I tell him, you can have those mistakes on Tuesday, but you go watch the film. Then on Wednesday, Thursday, you correct those. You come to us, come to me. And sometimes you don't even have to come to me. I'm going to tell you ahead of time, hey, you can do this so you can help yourself out on this play. Really, it goes back to being a leader, letting them know that I get you feel things inside, but you gotta know, like, if you do it to an opposing player or things towards other players, it's not gonna look good. But if you're celebrating with a teammate, it looks different.
Following up on that and your comments, did you have a conversation yourself with Dylan about his actions that led to his penalty Saturday?
I did. I just let him know that it's in the heat of the moment. You're a freshman. People have high standards for you because of the guy that you are. Everything that you bring to the program right away, you're making an impact. And everyone across the country can see it. One game, one action doesn't define you. This is hurting you more than anyone because you could see it on his face after the game. He knows it's not him. He knows that's not how he plays. He's come back to practice this week, and I'll talk to him again on a Sunday. It wasn't just Saturday. It's all this week. Build his confidence back up because, it's a dangerous place online. So I just kind of tell him, don't look online. Try to stay away from social media. Focus in on Alabama and be who you are and be who we know you are and try to tune out all the noise. Appreciate y'all.